joining us this special day for First News at 5. Coming up, how do you decide what to sing to a country that's turning 219 years old? We'll talk with Maestro Diane Witry about tonight's celebration. We'll also learn the right way to display and fold our nation's flag. Just driving to work, you see many mistakes. We'll have some 4th of July trivia for you, and it was a big night for the Astros. Randy McAvoy has the highlights. But first, let's check in with Albert Zipp, who has today's news headlines. Al? Now, we are going to do something a little bit different when we come back. We had some problems with audio and weather when two Marines joined us yesterday. Part of me hopes you didn't see that show. But anyway, if you did, they are going to join us again today. For nearly 50 years after Congress authorized the design of our flag, citizens had no real set of rules to guide them in displaying it. We will learn the right way to show respect for the American flag when First News continues.
When your alarm goes off, the world has changed overnight. And to tell you about those changes, KBMT Channel 12's Good Morning Southeast Texas gives you more local news.
In June of 1923, representatives from 68 organizations met to establish some sort of flag code, some rules to follow when displaying the nation's flag. In 1942, Congress adopted a resolution which made that code law. Sergeant Patrick Oleary and Staff Sergeant Thomas Jeffers join us to tell us about the proper way of displaying the country's flag. You might be surprised to know that there actually is a proper way to do this. Thanks so much for joining us today. We tried to do this yesterday, but the rain kind of hampered things a little bit. You are Staff Sergeant Jeffers, yes, right? And this is Pat Oleary, Sergeant Pat Oleary. Why don't we start out by talking about some of the things that you all see that disturb you a little bit about the way we display the flag?
Sure. First and foremost, I think, is when the flags are displayed outside of homes and things like that. Actually, businesses, too, are guilty of it. And that is you need to be sure to bring the flag in at night or make sure that it's on a spotlight.
And I know that you guys drive down the streets all the time and see flags that people have just forgotten about, and they're out there for weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing that we can keep in mind, too, flags can be dry cleaned. There's nothing disrespectful about that at all. Just on the drive over here, coming down College and a couple other streets, there were probably half a dozen mistakes easily made displaying the flag. When the American flag was displayed with another flag, it was either on the wrong side or right in the middle. There was just a lot of different mistakes.
And where should the flag be in that case?
It should be to the observer's left, all the way to the left. I've had occasion to attend some of the football games in the local area, and at one time it was a real striking portrait being done. They were raising the flag to the beat of the national anthem. It was real pretty and it was real moving, but you're supposed to raise it smartly to the top. In addition to that, when it's in respect for someone who died, an official or whatever the case may be, and you want to fly it at half-mast, you bring it all the way to the top and then lower it to half-mast. You don't just raise it up halfway and leave it at that.
It was interesting to watch you all put up the flag because you can't talk while you're doing it. There's a certain routine that you all go through to do it, and it almost elevates the experience, I guess you can say. We're also going to talk a little bit about some of the ways that we need to fold our flag. There's a certain way to do that as well.
Well, you want to fold it in a triangle pattern, and this wind doesn't help any, of course, but one of the keys to it is that you want to keep it taut. That way, when you get down to the end...
This is tough with the wind, I know.
When you get down to the end of it, you're going to be able to fold it in real nice and neat. The reason that you start at this end of the flag, of course, is so that the blue field shows when you get through with it.
Now, a lot of people, have you seen people just not know what they're doing in terms of folding flags?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. We went out to an elementary school last year to illustrate how to take the flag down and retire the colors. And it was just for that reason, because the teachers were concerned because the students were just grabbing the flags and running inside. But, of course, they got their priorities of wanting to get home from school every day. So,
how'd you guys learn all this?